Okay, welcome back to inventRightTV. Hey, during this video, I'm going to talk about when you come up with an idea and you want to bring it to market, you want to commercialize that idea, but you have a full-time job. What do? How do you tell your employer? Because you don't want to get in trouble, please watch this video. All right, this is Stephen Key at inventRightTV. Thanks for watching. Hey, I just got off the phone with a very nice gentleman who lives down in San Diego, and he called me and he wanted to thank me for all the work that my partner Andrew Krause and I have been putting out to help you inventors license your ideas. And he was just calling to thank me. And I thought that was such a wonderful thing. And I was really pleasantly surprised when I get these calls because it's really easy to find me. And my telephone number is just about everywhere. And I'm going to put my telephone number down below if you ever want to call me. But anyway, he had this great question. He said, look, I'm working with this company and I've been there for a while and they're a really big company, but he's got this idea and I think he's already patented and he wants to give the company his idea. And he wants them to maybe have a policy in place to where the employees can show ideas to the companies, and maybe if the company takes them, they actually get paid a royalty. I said, wow. I said, that's a great thing. But I said, you might want to slow it down just a little bit and ask some questions on the policy of when employees come up with ideas, what happens, who owns them? Because sometimes these big companies that when you sign up and you become an employee, you sign some documents that basically say anything that you come up with, regardless when, they own. Okay. And I think some companies don't even have a policy at all. Okay. And so instead of just telling the company kind of what you want them to do, I think a better approach is just ask them some questions on how they handle a situation when employees come up with ideas, and what is their attitude about it, and ask good questions first. And the reason why I said that, it allows you then to go back after you have listened to them and come back with maybe a proposal to get exactly what you want. The only reason why I said that, because I think from talking to this individual, he's very excited about his ideas, and I love that he is. He's very enthusiastic, which I love even more. But sometimes companies don't feel the same way we do. And I'll tell you the reason why they don't. They want you to be thinking about them 24 hours a day. And they don't want you to come up with some idea that somehow you collect royalties and you end up leaving. They kind of want you there. I have a different philosophy completely. Everybody that works at inventRight, I want to teach you to leave. I want you to fly if you want to. I want you to pursue your dreams. The last thing I want to do is hold someone back, because I wouldn't want anybody to hold me back. So, but I don't know if a lot of people feel that way. So my advice was I would ask really good questions and see, and then come back with some type of proposal. Also realize that not a lot of companies know how to deal with innovation. They're probably not that innovative, and they definitely don't know how to treat it in such a way that makes maybe their employees happy. I can tell you, when I was at my first and only paycheck job, Worlds of Wonder, in the late 80s, I was part of a team that was looking at all these new ideas. And I thought, hey, I can do better than the ideas that were coming in. And I had this one particular idea that I was working on, and I wanted to show it to my boss, but I did a really stupid thing. I went over my boss's head and went right to the president of the company, because it was fairly small at that time. And, we still had some big hits out there, Teddy Ruxpin, Laser Tag, but I could get to the president pretty easy because I knew his gatekeeper very, very well. So one day I went in there and made a presentation of my ideas to the president of the company. And that was kind of a big no-no. They didn't say anything, they were very nice about it, but I'm sure I really made my boss unhappy. But I guess the point I'm making is nothing came of it. They didn't take it, and they really didn't want me to come up with ideas. That's not what they were paying me for. They were paying me to take ideas and bring them over to the Far East and make sure they could be manufactured. They weren't paying me to come up with ideas. So I quit. That's what I did. I quit because I knew that I wanted to come up with my ideas and get paid royalties. And I really didn't want to work for anybody else. So that's how I handled it. And I don't know if that was the right way to handle it, but I knew deep down that they weren't going to allow me to work for them and then license ideas to other companies and collect royalties. That wasn't really going to happen. So I just quit. Okay, you've got a great product idea and you're not quite sure what to do. Or maybe you've got inventory in your garage because you were selling your product on Amazon and you don't want to continue doing it, but you want someone to help you license your idea to a company to bring it to market for you. We have a new program that's called Gateway, where we do all the work for you. We'll find the right companies and the right people to make sure your product is pitched correctly to get the licensing deal. This new program is called Gateway. If you're interested, please check it out. I think if you're working with the company and you want to come up with ideas, just ask them about their policy and see how they feel about it and see if they embrace it and see if there's a program. I think a lot of companies are going to do this. I think they're going to say, hey, look, if you come up with something on your own time that does not relate to the industry in which you're in and getting paid, that's perfectly fine. That's what I think they're going to say. Not everybody, but I think quite a few will say that. I think there's going to be other ones that are going to say anything you come up with, regardless if it's your own time, we own it. I think you're going to find that too. All right, I've got to tell this one story. I was running this company with my partner, Rob Stefani, called Hot Picks, and we were selling guitar picks. And James, which I don't know if you know, but he's been working with me for over 25 years. At the time, he came up with a great idea. He wanted to take these guitar picks and make them out of a lenticular lens. So when you move them back and forth, they give you fun 13 frames of action. And so even though he was working for Hot Picks, we gave him a royalty because we were just happy he came up with a great idea and we were happy to pay him. The only reason why I'm telling this story, I don't think a lot of companies are going to feel the same way, but I believe that you empowered people to do their best. And I also believe that it's important to, to embrace innovation, to help people come up with new ideas and want them to come up with new ideas to help the company because we sold a ton of them. So I cannot thank James enough for doing that. And I was happy to pay him a royalty, but I don't think a lot of companies are going to feel the same way. So bottom line is this. I think it's amazing to be creative, and it's amazing to come up with ideas and patent them and see them come to life. But it's also very important that if you're working for a company to keep your job too. I understand it. So just ask good questions, listen, then come back with the proposal to see if there's a way for you to follow your dreams while still working for this company that's paid your bills. All right, Stephen Key, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.